I thought it was going to end, but I realized that I had to bring it together with this previous entry about the gilded cage. So the gilded cage is the boundary of our knowledge base. Our knowledge base is always growing. And when we go past our limits, okay, let us say that our government and our social servants are going past their limit. And then we have to exercise our power as individuals with sovereignty, Sui Juris, over all of our governmental powers, whatever they may be, judicial, economic, political, religious, yada yada yada. They all split it into all this stuff that has terms and names and definitions and phrases and blah 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 blah. You know, they exercise too much of their power. They overstep their boundaries. We've got to limit them. But you know what? They go past their limit, then we've got to exercise our power, and we come into contact with our limitations. And then in the struggle between, there's a realization. In the struggle between the clashing rocks of Jason and the Argonauts, these are the opposites, what I call the duadities, the duads, the right, the wrong, the good, the bad, the light, the dark, the evildoer, and the righteous man. Between these two, we have the realization. Not in these two, but between these two, there is the realization. But as far as that grand starry night, that is a 360-degree sphere around us, and we could hear it, we could see it, we could smell it, we could speak it. It could be spoken to us, or we can touch it. These are the five senses. However, they are the limit of our intelligible understanding. Okay? And we go past that, and we come into contact with the unknown and previously unknowable. That is the great flashing of light. That is the Godhead, so to say. That which is beyond us. Metaphysics, beyond the physical. That is what is beyond our physical experience, our sensorium, our senses. Buddhism uses a term, sentient being. That is a being of senses. In their cognition, their understanding, their sphere, their gilded cage, if it's got senses, it can suffer. And if it can suffer, it is our responsibility to lessen that suffering. That's the same thing as a social servant. I was told by a Buddhist monk that the highest form anyone can achieve in the social construct of Tibet is to be a monk, because the monk dedicates themselves to releasing or lessening others from or of their suffering. And they're highly trained. They got some skill. I had a back injury. I have a back injury. And one of the lamas, someone that has accrued 20 years plus of training like school, 20 years of school. That's like double what a doctor takes. He couldn't even speak English. Saw me walk up there. Obviously, I have a cane. At the time I was using a cane. And I credit him with helping me resolve my dependency upon my cane. Helping to resolve. Not completely. I required a great deal of self-work as well. But Western medicine had done all they could for me. And I came up to him, and he pointed at my cane. And I said, "Oh, yeah, it's my back, you know." And he couldn't understand a word I was saying. Or maybe he could. These guys are so highly trained, they could use not being able to speak your local language as a tool to help you. Because many of the psychological maladies do not require language to heal them. A lot of psychologists, the talking therapists, you know, don't like this, but the fact of the matter is a great deal of injuries can be healed, mental maladies can be healed without even speaking. So he said, "Take your hand." He put his hand up and he said, "Put it on your back." You know, and he started rubbing his side. And so I said, "Oh, yeah, take the hand, rub it on the side." Now, I'd already been initiated. The initiation was, there is white light. This is the Buddha. And there were multiple and various rituals they went through. One was centered around a mantra, Namata Sanda Vajra Krodia Hula Hulu Tita Tita Bana Bana Hana Hana Amirte Hung Bei. And this was about visualizing white light and the Buddhas and yada yada, and clearing the whole body of filth and the dark smoke. Because I had already been ritualized in that, I saw the white light in my hand. And I put that white light on my injured areas, the parts that hurt. And whether or not it physically changed me, psychologically it gave me an avenue of expression. And that expression took the form of healing, resolution, dissolution of the pain. I could see my father and my mother helping me with this. I could very well be experiencing the Promethean effect. "Hello, darkness, mild friend, I've come to talk with you again." And bringing the light to the darkness through my creativity, as Prometheus brought fire to humankind. These are all metaphysical, metaphorical conceptions. But in conceiving it, you have a natural stance and posture that the body takes immediately. It's called the mind-body connection. Immediate. Once you visualize it, then your body takes the proper position and stance and posture. Now here the abuse of power can come in. Remember that everything only reflects our own issues. So the abuse of power by our social services and our social servants is only a reflection of our inability to exercise limitation upon them. But exercising limitation upon them requires that we limit and learn how to limit ourselves. They wouldn't need to try to limit us unless we needed limiting. They wouldn't need to abuse their power unless there were extraordinary circumstances. From the ultimate view, We are all one. That being so, there are no victims, only those learning their lessons. How we learn them, but they're all around us all the time. Have a great day.